Hello, everyone, and welcome to Know Your Locals, a podcast to help you better get to know the Vic Smash scene. My name is Master of Disaster. I'm your host, and today's guest is someone you may have heard of, and if you haven't, you've definitely heard them when you've been at a tournament that they're at. um, it's none other than Crozzy. Everyone, welcome. Oh, goodness me, it's been a long time coming. This one was very easy to hype up, and I know a lot of people wanted to hear from you, so this is going to be really good. I'm excited. My bad. Sorry. Imagine having tournaments again. Like, who would have thought? No worries. So I guess to start off with, I'd like to just introduce yourself to the viewers. So feel free to share anything you'd like. Oops. I realized why, and now I fixed it. So Crozzy is here. He's alive. Say hi.
You guys missed out on so much juicy content. Like, oh,
He
how
already spilled the
disappointing.
beans. Like we
I
basically have to
did.
cut the podcast short like another half an hour, but it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you missed out the secret to a pop off. Like, oh man, that's rough. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
we started straight from the top. We had no holds barred here, but nah, all good. Crozzy, just reintroduce yourself to the viewers. Just give them a little taste of who you are, a little bit about yourself.
Yay! Hi, I'm Crozzy, and I pop off really hard. I also play Falco a little bit.
Who would have thought? All right, we'll get straight into it. I think I want to talk about a little bit about you, a little bit something interesting that some people would know. If they've met you offline, they'd probably know this a little bit more than if they haven't. But you're into health and fitness, so I think that's something that's really important, not just
Oh
for
yeah.
like life in general, but I think it actually does help with when you play games as well. So um, just to give people like some idea, is this been something that you've been like always interested in, like over your whole lifetime, or is it something that's sort of new, like a more recent thing?
So, like, I've always been into health and fitness pretty much from when I was 16, and our school had a really tiny like gym, and
Mhm.
so every lunchtime me and my friends would go work out, and just because we had nothing to do, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just like, oh yeah, bicep curls, oh yep, bench press. Like, we had no idea what we were doing, but I stayed healthy. Like, I stayed, yeah, healthy for, I don't know, till I left high school, and then I studied exercise science. Okay, so here's a good little tidbit. I studied exercise science and human movement, clinical exercise science and human movement, and I studied it because my grandpa, he was so unwell, and I just knew he needed to move. I was like, Grandpa, like, you can't get out of the chair. Like, I need you to move. So I studied this to help him.
Mm,
Then he died, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I did it to, like, I studied that to help him. And then since he died, I was just like, well, I don't need to do it.
mm.
And and pretty much after that, I stopped exercising. Like, I didn't exercise for about 3 years, or like in and out for maybe like a couple of months. And I lived with my grandma, and she would just come in with like bacon and eggs whenever I wanted. She'd come in like, oh, I just went to the shops. Here's 4 500 ml cans of energy drink, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And I was young, so my body still burnt everything pretty well. And then I hit about, so that was from about 22, and then to 25, I was like, I can feel there's more stomach here. Like, what's going on? I never like leant forward and felt my stomach basically hit my thighs. Like, I'd never felt that before. And I was talking to Sam, my partner at the time, and she was like, I asked her, am I fat? And she was like, oh, well, like, I can feel your stomach a bit more. And I was like, I feel it too. And that was like the kick where I was like, I need to get back into this exercise thing. I have to. And pretty much from there, I've been the Crozzy that you know and love today.
No,
I can't believe that was a gross and weird thing to say, but yeah, yeah.
no, I can like relate to that a lot. Like, when I went through my big fitness phase, obviously not now if you've seen me, but when I was I think God knows I've always been a big kid. Let's put it that way. Like I'm pretty sure I was like 80 kilos at like like a very young age, and then I don't know what weight I got to, but I realized this is not okay. I started doing karate. Like it was just a hobby that I liked, and that sort of helped me drop some weight. And then once I got to about 14, 15, I started doing gym with my dad at home with the home gym, just like real basic, started with just a bar of everything and just like...
I saw those concrete buckets of weights you got there, man. Beautiful prison set there. Love it.
Hey, it does the job. I mean,
It does.
I think it's like 40 kilos, which is pretty light for like both me and dad, but it's like it did the job for when we needed it and we didn't have a choice. Can't complain.
The thing that got me back into exercise was, believe it or not, Pokemon Go. The second that came out that day, there's actually a video that my cousin took, and I'm having a shower and I'm singing at the top of my lungs, I wanna be the very best. I sang that the entire day, and I walked all around St. Albans, Keilor Park, like wherever I lived. I was walking everywhere, and I walked for 6 to 8 hours a day and did that every day. And then all of a sudden, I'd lost a lot of weight, and I was like, "Oh shit, damn!"
Holy shit!
Whoever says games can't help you, like Jesus Christ! Like you look at the Ring Fit now, oh my god, amazing!
No, it's legit. Like I know with Pokemon Go, that's definitely been a big thing. I was going for walks I never would have went on before. I was going to places I've never been to before, just like to go for a walk, catch Pokemon. It's definitely a good thing, and I think it's slowly like, some of it's a bit gimmicky, but I think Ring Fit's like pretty legit. Like I'm struggling with it when I do it. I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty full on workout. It's not like the Wii Sports of the past where it was like you can sit down in your chair and still do it. Like you actually have to get up. You got to put in some effort.
Yeah, it's really come a long way, and I really, really appreciate it, because like I didn't have my gym set at the start of lockdown, but we got Ring Fit as lockdown happened. And it was just the saving grace. Like, oh my god, it felt good to move around.
It's just, even just having an excuse to do it, because you couldn't really go anywhere to do it, so you're just kind of like, well, what do I do? And no, it's good to have. Speaking of this gym setup, it's rather sizable at the moment. It started off small, very humble, and it's built up now.
It has. I put out Twitter updates every single time I got a new thing in the mail. Oh man. Every single time I was so excited, but I felt really bad for the mailmen, because like every time they'd like try to pick up the weights or whatever, and they like struggle to take it out of the van. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. So I'll see you next week with the next 40 kilo installment.
Yeah, it's just like as the pays are coming in, you're just like buying more stuff, and this guy, oh fucking hell, man, I gotta carry this shit.
Exactly. And like I feel bad for the for when because I got my what do you call that thing? Tax refund.
Yep.
And I was like, nah, I need to buy gym equipment. So I bought so much so quick, and I could feel the hate and disdain from the delivery person.
Now, for the people at home that may have missed it, can you describe what you currently got in your home gym setup?
So I've got just a pull-up bar and a squat rack, so it's all in one. So it's just like an arch sort of thing. Pull-up bar, squat rack with hooks, and I've got Olympic barbell with 140 kilos worth of weight, and then I've got just a regular barbell with around about 80 kilos. I don't really know. It's hard to tell what weight the bar is. It doesn't specify.
Yeah.
So about 80 kilos of extra weight, and then a bench press, floor mat, and that ball, the heavy exercise ball. And yeah, I'm planning to add to this as we go, but just timing is not right to buy any more equipment. And the equipment that I need to spend like an extra $200 to $400, and that's just not money I'm willing to part with right now.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm just making exercise harder instead of increasing the weight.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Look, you I think exercise has always been a thing that you can work with what you've got, and
Yeah.
you've got a pretty significant amount of stuff. Like it's very workable. You know, you're not talking about you've got like 10 kilos and you're trying to make it work. Like
No.
you've got weights. You know.
I have a set, but the thing is, I look at my cousin. He was my PT. He's the one who got me, like, after Pokemon Go had run its course. He started training me to become like super like fit, like what I am now.
Yeah.
And he has got a literal gym in his backyard, like probably upwards of 1,000 kilos, and just so much shit. He's got an entire jungle gym in his backyard. It's
Jeez,
crazy that
that's
he
nuts.
made himself. Like,
That's insane.
that is what I really wish I had.
With time, with time.
Yeah.
Now to give, so we understand what equipment you've got. Now, the people definitely want to know what sort of routine you got at the moment. I guess to give you, just to get some like ideas for the people. Like for me, I did very basic stuff. I've always been simple with my weight stuff, starting strength sort of stuff, push pull routines, 3x10s, like really simple routines. But you probably know a lot more than I do, so I'd like to hear what you sort of do for your routines.
Surprisingly, like I said a while back that I'm just kind of gymming right now to just maintain the body that I have.
Yeah.
And it includes like it includes hypertrophic training, which is, trying to get bigger, which is usually 3 to 5 sets of about 6 reps with really high weight, so like 80% of my 1 RM,
Yep.
1 rep max. And it's actually pretty simple exercises too. Like I do bench press, I do pull-ups, I do squats. The most complicated or intricate exercise I do is probably a clean and press. So that's having the weight on the ground. You do a deadlift, flick it really high up, squat down, put it on your shoulders, and then push back up, like do a shoulder press straight after that. It's a huge body movement.
Yeah.
It gets your entire body working, like every single muscle is working, and that's probably the most complicated one I do. But yeah, otherwise it's just really basic exercises that everyone knows, and I just do three sets, 6 reps. It's quite easy, and I can tell anyone to do it. It's so easy to make a program that I have. Took me 10 minutes to work out.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, the struggle initially is figuring out what to do more so than doing it. When you go in blind, it's pretty rough.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's almost too many options, because the reality is the motions are the same for a lot of them, and it's just like slight variations, right? And understanding what the variations mean and what they're doing, which takes people some time. But it's
exactly good. Like I've been I wouldn't say studying, but like I've been taking an interest as well as studying exercise for, oh geez, how old am I? I am nearly 30, and I've been doing it since I was 16. Someone do them at 14 years. I've been in exercise for about 14 years. So I take a lot of the information that I have for granted. And so when someone asks me a question about exercise, I'll just spiel out a bunch of shit, and they'll be like, hang on a second, wait, how do I, what?
Yeah,
and I'm like,
slow down,
right.
you know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's why I'm not a PT, because I'm qualified to be a PT, but I'm a terrible teacher. Terrible teacher. So, yeah.
No, that's fair enough. And it's like, teaching's a weird thing where it's like, it's not for everyone. It's pretty difficult, honestly. Like, being good at something, being able to teach it are two different things. Like, it's clearly different. Now, so we got the weights down. Have you been incorporating much cardio and stuff like that into your routine as well?
Surprisingly, I don't normally do cardio, but about once or twice a week, I've started going for runs, like just because I'm like, I want to run. I just feel like running. And so then I run for about half an hour to an hour, listen to a podcast. I completely tune out the world. And I'm like, this is great. I'm enjoying this. I come home and I'm like, could go for another half an hour if I wanted to. It's just something that I really enjoy. I also play basketball on Sundays, which is, I'm terrible at basketball. I'm just a nuisance on the court. Like, I just am an object that's in the way, but I get to run around, and that's all that matters.
Oh goodness. All right. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about, which people might have seen, is you've got your board, which has.
Oh man, I love my board. I love my whiteboard so much.
Please tell us about the board. Explain it to the viewers that might not know what this board is.
So it's nice and easy. I've got 4 days set up with different routines. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Do them across the week, and then I've got a little checkbox sort of thing. So it's called my week streak. So if I have to do those 4 sessions in 1 week, I get to cross off a box, and there's 5 boxes. So if I cross off 3 boxes, I get to treat myself to maybe a Toblerone, but a big Toblerone. Like it's a good reward. I get a nice sugary treat, a bag of licorice, just something that's really nice. And then if I get 5 in a row, that's when we go hard. That's when we get like a slab of Jack Daniels, and I go down to town. It's so great.
This is good. Like, it's a good reward system. That's like, it's balanced. So you're not like denying yourself of the things that you enjoy, but you're rewarding yourself for the effort that's getting put in. Which is
exactly. People might have seen earlier, like today or yesterday, me and Zodiac Knight we were discussing like to get that ripped where you have no fat on your body and you can see every vein and muscle fiber on your body. That's a lot of work, and you are depriving yourself of so much enjoyment in the world. Like I like to have a sugary drink. I like to have chocolate here and there. Like to get that ripped, I wouldn't be allowed to have my reward system. It'd be like, you can have a lettuce leaf for your reward system.
Yeah.
It's just like not worth it.
It's finding that balance, right? And that's very hard to
Exactly.
do at that body fat percentage. You can't, there's no leeway there, and it's not even just that, it's like also water intake and that sort of stuff too.
Exactly. So like you said, this chart is a really good balance. And my cousin, he's a big advocate for this sort of thing as well. It's just like, he loves what I've done with my whiteboard. He's like, this is good shit. I'm like, yeah. If I made my cousin proud with exercise, that means it's a good shit.
I mean, I can't argue with that. Like, there's no sort of better reassurance when someone that's like pretty much expert in the field telling you, you're actually doing something that's like legitimate.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, the next thing, like sort of merging between the two topics that we're going to probably talk about mostly today.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this balance of having like this choice of lifestyle, having that healthy lifestyle, is helping you with your gameplay and your smashability? Do you feel like that's helped at all?
Not in the slightest. Absolutely not. I wish it's kept my like fingers and hands healthy. Like I don't get the cramps and stuff that I hear people like complain about, and that makes me very happy. And also, I still have butt muscles. I have a very cute butt, and that doesn't help me with Smash, but it makes sitting very comfortable.
That's fair enough. It's just interesting from my perspective. I'll give you some of mine. Like, I used to play Dota pretty much religiously for like 5 years, and I noticed I played my best, and I thought I made better decisions. Not necessarily like I wasn't faster at the game, but I was not. I don't know. It was harder to tilt. I felt when I was exercising at at the top level.
I can completely see that. Absolutely, yeah.
It's just like the way your body handles stress changes when you're exercising a lot. When I was training, like, hard to say now because now I just look like fat shit. But like back then, I was training like 4 or 5 days a week. So I was constantly moving. I was, if karate was 2-3 hours a day, and then I'd go to the gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it was like it was pretty full on sessions every time I was training, but I always felt relaxed, if that makes sense. Like I never really felt stressed out when I was playing a game. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't even get mad. Like something goes wrong, it's like, oh yeah, whatever, man. I'm too tired to care. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was good. Like it was a healthy sort of balance. Whereas when I was not as like,
no, I completely get that. I'm everyone knows I'm quite a not highly strong, but I've got energy to go. Like if I need energy, it's there regardless.
Who would have thought?
So so like as much as I, I I don't feel that clarity, but then at the same time, I've never played this game when I wasn't unhealthy.
Hmm.
So the only time I is when I've had like a big night the night before and play a game and I'm like, oh god, I feel like shit. Bad decisions. That's the only comparison I have.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And it's hard with this game because it's only like you play at specific times. Like it's not like with Dota, you just log on and play whenever you want, right? So you're
Yeah.
like you will find certain times when you're feeling good, feeling bad. Like I shouldn't play in the morning. I shouldn't play too late. When you play Smash, it's like at a tournament. It's at a set time every day. Like every week, it's the same. You don't have much like leeway to sort of experiment with it. So that's fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we'll move on to this next question. It's a little bit more like a heavier sort of question. So when I was training a lot, I always had this feeling, like I could see the improvements and I was getting like better and stronger and fitter. I was looking better, but like there was always this feeling that I never felt like it was never enough. Like I always want to get that little bit further, a little bit stronger, a little bit fitter.
Oh man, I feel that so hard.
Yeah, and it's as far as I'm aware, it's very common, but like it's sort of like that pursuit of excellence, right? So like it's with anything you do. It's the same with Smash, right? Like to what point do you stop? Like at what point are you content? You're never really satisfied with where you're at. You can be happy where you are currently, but you always want to improve that little bit more. Is this something that you might have come across like with your time training and living the lifestyle you do?
Absolutely. This is a huge thing in my brain. At the moment, it's not particularly a problem, but I can see it there, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. It's like it could become a problem should something happen. So, when I was at my biggest, which was pre-lockdown, I hit about 92 to 95 kilos, and that was just muscle. I was really big, and I was so happy, but I was like, I can be bigger. I can I can get bigger. And like actually Sam said to me, she was like you're getting too big, and I was like, no, I can get bigger. Like I can, I'm just that little bit more, but that little bit more of getting bigger happened from about 85 to 95 kilos. Like I started 85, it's like I'm happy, but I can do a little bit more. I can do a little bit more, and then lockdown happened and it all reset, sort of thing. So it was fine. And when I said that, now I'm just training to be healthy. Um, that was a really good, like, to just say that out loud, like I am just wanting to be healthy now, really took that stress away from being bigger. And I'm now absolutely at my ideal size, weight, everything. Like I am so happy, and I don't feel the need to push any harder. That being said, it's a it is a problem. Like it is, for a lot of people, it can really consume their lives, and not just their body, but like mentally they feel
Yeah.
bad about themselves. They'll feel like I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. It can go really deep as to I'm not good enough as a person, so I put everything into my exercise. Like it's got so many layers and can go so many directions. It's it's a problem, and is something that if you think you might be going down that way, it's really worth talking to someone. And hey, fucking talk to me. I kind of been in that area and I understand it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a big point of why I wanted to bring it up. There might be some people in there, but they are exercising. I know I've been through it. Um, and this is just as important as your physical health. Your mental health is extremely important too. So if you are feeling if that sort of way, if it might be speaking to a friend, if it's not to a friend, speak to someone that's specialized in the field. It's worth addressing. Before it becomes something that's even more, serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, Now, from a a little bit less serious sort of topic, a lot of people might be struggling with just starting exercise in general. is there any sort of tips or things that people can be doing, to help them either getting interested in starting working out, or just helping to live a more healthy lifestyle?
There's so much, and it's really, really, really simple stuff. The first thing, holy shit, just drink water. Like, if you just drink water and maybe have like a Pepsi Max or a no sugar, low sugar drink a couple of times throughout the day, that's fine. Like, if you cut out sugary drinks, holy crap, you'll see the difference so fast. Like, so fast. And Simple is actually an amazing example of this. He quit alcohol for a full month and he lost, I can't remember how much he told me, but he looked incredible the last time I saw him. And I was like, yeah. So if you just drink water, oh my God, it'll save you so much. Like, water is amazing. In terms of exercise, it's really hard to get into exercise because it's that initial get off the couch, let's do something. That is so hard. And it's a huge hurdle to overcome.
Yeah.
But the second you start, like, even now, I have my gym in my garage, and I'm sitting and I'll be like, I don't know, playing video games, watching TV, or scrolling Twitter. I'll just be sitting and I'll like got that, triple chin as you're looking at the computer. And I'm like, oh, really should exercise, but this is just really good right now. Yeah. And it's really hard. But the second you get into the gym and do one set, just do 10 reps of bicep curls, and you'll be like, oh yeah, oh, this is great. Right, yeah, let's just keep doing it. There's been so many times where I'll go into the backyard or the shed, and I'll be like, I'll only do a short session, 3 sets. I mean, like 3 exercises, and then all of a sudden I'm out there for 2.5 hours. It's like, that happens regularly. So it's a mental hurdle that you have to overcome, and once you get over that, you'll feel like, oh right, I can actually exercise, even if it's just walking around the block. Like, it's really hard to get up, but once you do it, you've done it.
Yeah, no, that's some solid stuff, Crozzy. Like, that's hopefully if you're listening and it's something that you can relate to, or something that you wanted to start getting into but you've been struggling with, just take the man's advice. Let's be straight honest.
At Toxic, at We Toxic Few, juice is not allowed. That is the sugar. That is more sugary than a can of Coke. Like, juice is so bad for you, and I didn't know that for so long.
They've taken too long to address that. That's an issue. That's something I cut out pretty early.
Yeah.
I didn't really drink soft drink that much anyway, but I was drinking a lot of juice and stuff. In general, just like with dinner and whatever. And at some point, we just sort of stopped. We just stopped drinking juice. In general,
Yeah.
and I just started drinking a lot more water. Like, I constantly had headaches. Like, because you don't think about it, right? It's like, oh man, I got headaches. Like, why? And then one day, like, my instructor's just like, Michael, do you drink a lot of water? I'm like, I don't really. And it clicked, in my head. It's like, wait, this is the problem. Like, I'm just not drinking enough water. So I'm just letting you guys know, like, 'cause I'm pretty sure, like, it's come up in the Discord like 600 times. And I'm like, have you been drinking much water lately? And it's like always my first response. But it's literally because it like solved like my life problems with these headaches I was getting every day. And ever since, I really haven't had headaches that are from just being dehydrated. It's always been that I've got like a neck strain, like it's basically like muscle strains that are causing my headaches. Never actually just dehydration. So drink water, everyone. So the key thing we're trying to get at. All right, we'll move on. So we've talked about you. Now, let's talk about you and Smash. So your Smash beginnings.
Oh man, this is just a sad tale. This is just really sad the whole way through.
No, this is good because I think the key thing that brought me to deciding to bring you on was this is a story of like perseverance, really. This is not I just came once and I was actually just really good at the game and that's my story. Like, no, it's different. This is like clearly different. So
yeah.
I'll start off with the first thing I found. So I've done a little bit of research for you. So according to Ozsmash, so it may be wrong, but this is this is as far back as I can get. Your first tournament was in November 2015, which was a Rambat.
Yep.
Now, was that the first tournament you were? Do you
So
remember
clear.
it? Holy
Oh,
shit.
so clear. So me and my mate Rafe, I really hope Rafe is in this chat or watching this, because Rafe is absolutely one of my best friends in the entire world. I love him to bits. And he's the guy. We were at a party and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love Smash. I'm actually pretty good. I beat all my friends." And then he was like, "Oh, really?" And then he played and he was way better than me. But then we went to a tournament and he got O2'd as well. He got a bye first, not a bye, uh, like a DQ first round, so he
Okay.
kind of went like 1-2. But you know, he went 0-2, and I was like, um, yeah. And so the thing is that he thought he was so much better than me, and he went 0-2 as well. I was like, shit. Okay, so tournaments is like a whole nother fucking level, like a huge level up. And so we both were like, oh man, all right, well, this was rough. I left with our like heads down, tail between our legs, and uh, that was the first one. And I gotta say, all the stories about Jack Gorman, completely true, like so true. He came up and he was just like, ah, hey, new guys, and I was just like, I'm Crozzy, this is Rafe, and yeah, it was just really nice. He made us feel so welcome. So God, Pudge, he's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's
Anyways, yeah,
definitely.
sorry.
Yeah.
The tournament was a lot of fun, and the second you walk in, I was not prepared for the smell. I was like, oh yeah, cool. All right, a bunch of people playing video games. It's the first time I've ever done this sort of thing. Walked in, oh, what the fuck? Oh my god,
It's
it
an
was really bad.
experience.
Absolutely, and yeah, it was a really fun time because yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, but it was an eye-opening experience, and I love when new people come to tournaments now and are like, "Oh yeah, I'm better than all my friends." I'm like, "Oh, come on, baby, let's play it. Let's just see how good you are." And they are terrible every time.
It's very rare that someone comes in that has no idea what's going on and does
Yeah.
like well, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a fact.
No,
You're playing.
exactly. And the thing is, you've got to tell people, you've got to be, look, this is going to be jarring. You are going to think you are like top level. You're going to think you're really good, but just know you are going to find out that you're terrible. But that's not a bad thing. You got to push through and you will understand. Like the uptake is really quick, but then to get better is like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now everyone knows you, or at least the ultimate newcomers. They know you as a Falco main.
Mhm.
But the people in the know might know that that wasn't who you were originally playing, right?
Oh god, I miss her so much.
Yeah. So can you tell us about who this is?
Oh, Chic. Oh, my absolute favorite player. Like, I love Chic and all her tools. In Smash 4, she was amazing. And I picked her up. I didn't know she was top tier. I was just like, oh god, oh, everything is just working. Oh, and it was a really easy uptake for me. Everything flowed together and I could do some saucy shit. Like, it was so nice. And then when I played her in Smash 4 and she felt kind of clunky and like really difficult to like get things to string together, and I was like, this is no longer enjoyable. But back in Smash 4, oh dear lord. But fun side note, I did pick up Falco as a secondary, so
Okay, this makes a lot of sense because I'm like, I didn't see the two like I can see the similarities in some sense. Like they both were combo machines. Like
yeah.
Falco is a combo machine now, and she kind of
Mhm.
was that way, but like in Smash Four. But then it's
Yeah.
like, where does Falco come from? But yeah, having it as a secondary that kind of makes sense. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people that made the transition from Smash Four to Ultimate did either try their main, didn't like it, and then were trying through their secondaries next. Rather than trying like something completely new.
Exactly, because it was like a similar playstyle for the most part, but so it was just like, how do you pick it up and how do you adapt to it in the new game?
Yeah.
So like Rafe was, he picked up Falco, and he did some cool shit, and we did a lot of Falco dittos, and the dare, Falco's dare just felt so good when you landed it. And so when I came to Smash 4, like I do so many dares now when I probably shouldn't, because I'm just like, it feels really good.
By the way,
And
when
so-
Crozzy says Smash 4, he means Ultimate.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Just to
sorry.
clarify.
So Falco, so the transition was quite easy because she could, like, she was super flowy, like everything kind of flowed together. Fair, F tilt, fair, F tilt, now. Just everything flowed together nicely, and you could maybe not kill, but like get some good damage. And Falco is like an easier version of what Smash 4 Chic was, because it's just up throw, up air, up air. Like it's really nice, and I the way that Falco flows through everything is just so beautiful, because it's like up air, and then I'm falling, but you're coming with me in my nair. Oh, and you can't do anything. Oh, I'm gonna grab you again. Where you going? Up. You go straight up, and guess what's coming there? Oh, and it's just great. And then sometimes people panic, and then they'll air dodge, or like they'll throw out just a move out of hit stun, and I'll just drop back, and I'll just do a firebird, pull them up the top, and oh god, if I ever land that in tournament. I have landed it in tournament. If I ever land it on stream, oh, you better wait for that pop off, baby. God, it's so good. I love Falco so much.
I was gonna say, if you weren't sure, I'm pretty sure Crozzy really likes the character he plays.
Yeah. Like I've tried playing other characters, and I'm just like, nah, this isn't good. Nothing feels as nice as Falco does.
It's a rough friendly session when Crozzy does not want to change characters for the entire 4 or 5 hours. Just like, surely there's something, right? There's got to be something.
And then I'll throw out like a Chic, and and the match will be over in a minute, because I'm so bad with every other character. It's like playing a 2-year-old. It's so bad, and everyone knows it. So I'm really sorry. And also, this is just how I improve my Falco. I get more matchup experience. I get to, practice cool combos, and it's just, I'm really sorry. I know the friendlies against me kind of suck, but I just got to do it.
Can't argue with that. We'll head back onto the train. Now we're sort of going through some of these tournaments that, some of them are running, some of them aren't. I want to give people, especially from the Ultimate community, some idea about some of these other tournaments. So, from what I could find, one of the first SASs you attended was in February, the following year. So that would have been, 2016?
Yeah, I remember this as well.
Yep. So that was EB Games Swanston Street.
Yeah, that was a good venue. A bit small, but it was a nice venue. It felt very community driven, and it was a really nice vibe that everyone had. But I really liked it, because I actually won a couple of games there, because it was very, anyone could just walk in and sign up, and it was really, really nice. But still, I sucked so much. But the environment and vibe at SAS was really, really good. It was so friendly, and everyone was having a good time all the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's something you strive towards, I guess, as a community. You want that yeah, it's good to have all the serious stuff, but it's nice when there's like an event that's okay, it's people are still gonna play their mains and stuff, but it can be a bit more relaxed, like the environment's more relaxed, less serious.
Yeah.
Now, like, I guess sort of like off topic from my list of questions, but comparing it to the SAS we had, before lockdown, did you feel like the vibe was similar or different?
Completely. It's different, and you know what I think it is? It's the like decorations, because we were just in a grey room, and the mood was generally quite flat for a thing. Like, it was just a dull room with just a whole bunch of sweaty nerds playing games, and it was like nice, but that sense and vibe of community wasn't there. And because at SAS, there's like, it's bright and colorful, and there's games going on, like other games, because they had like little like standing games that you could play. And there's just decorations everywhere, and I think that really lifted everyone's spirit. Whereas when I walked into SAS, it's just dull. It was really dull. Not to say that the people weren't having a good time and that people, weren't cheering or vibing. It was harder to reach that like same. Oh yeah, everyone's having fun. Oh, this is great. It was really hard to match that, and yeah.
No, I can see that because like for people that don't know, like EVS or EB Games at Swanston Street, it's like one, there's a whole bunch of like merchandise and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
They've got all the promotional posters, stuff like that. It's colourful as fuck. And then you compare that to current SAS, which is just one of the like rooms that they use at RMIT, which is obviously dull because it's a room that they use at RMIT.
Yeah, it's a student room.
Yeah, you can't compare that, so I can understand that. That's fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. And like I gotta say, the closest that vibe ever got to being what I felt at SAS on Swanston was when Simple versus Simple, and it was Ganondorf versus Little Mac. Oh my god, that shit was so good. It was so much fun to watch it, and I think that was the closest I ever felt to the electricity in the air as what SAS had on just a regular basis.
Yeah, if any of you guys want that set, I'm pretty sure that was recorded, so you can ask me in the Discord later, in the Vidcord, and I'll post the link for everyone to watch.
That was so fun. That was so much fun.
Everyone got into that. Like, didn't matter where you were, you had no allegiances. It was just like simple versus simple. It's like win a team.
And I didn't realize that it was like our home guy Simple. Like I didn't know it was like our Simple. So when I found out, I was like, yes, so good.
That's nuts. All right, the next tournament I wanted to talk about was something that was held on the west side, and probably like the last thing that was sort of held on the west side for a long time was over 9K. I don't know if that's still around. It might be. I know where it roughly is. I didn't know there was a tournament there because if I did, I probably would have went, and you would have met me probably a lot earlier.
Oh, I do remember over 9K. I went to a few of those.
Mm.
They were in like Deer Park. Yeah, they were like right near where you and I used to live.
Yeah, it's like it was actually ridiculously close. Like when I look at it now, it's like it's 5 minutes max drive. It was like
I was still super green in the scene. Like I was very still very green, and going there because that was the first time I would go there by myself because Rafe lives in the eastern suburbs, so it was a huge hike for him to come.
Oh, yeah.
So he'd come every now and again, but most of the time I just go by myself, and I felt a little bit just like weird and ostracized. Like Jack would also be like, "Hey man, good to see ya," but then he'd do his TOing, so like that one person, that one connection. So I was just kind of on my own a lot. It was still good. It was a competitive tournament, and it was a good venue. It's actually quite a lot, very simple to what EBS is now. It was a good tournament, but
okay, yeah, because what I saw was like it was stacked as fuck. Like I was looking at like who was in it. It was like Ignis and Dawn and stuff. Like all these like top level players. Like what the fuck? Like I thought this was like some chill like local, and it turns out I think it was a monthly, right? I think it was a monthly.
God damn.
I may be wrong, but it was like there was a lot of people there too. It was like 49 people or something. It was like that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
It was. I just remember always going O2, which was completely fine, and I was like, it was a fleeting tournament, and it was just something that I would like to go, and I was still just dipping my feet in. So yeah.
No, that's fair enough. Now I'm just like looking. I was sort of like going through all the data. As I prepare myself for these, these podcasts. They take a little bit of effort, guys. I promise. I saw.
I tell you what, he sent me. Mod sent me the like script. I was like, holy shit! You've put a lot of effort into this. I thought you were just going to put dot point questions, but there is so much information. Like, goddamn, man.
I put in a little bit of work. I try, I try. No, I saw the main thing. I saw that there was actually quite a big gap that you had from playing. Like, you didn't really enter anything from looked like Feb 2017 till like April 2018. So there was like a year gap. Do you remember if there was a particular reason, or did you just sort of like lose interest, or just lose track of it?
Yeah, kind of, because like I wasn't really in the scene, so I just kind of like I just never heard of another tournament. And like Rafe was my source into it. And so if he stopped saying, hey, here's a tournament, I would just, if he didn't say there's a tournament, I wouldn't just, there was no way, or I didn't search for them. So yeah. And also uni was happening. I was just like, yeah, that's not interested anymore.
No, look, that happens. That's just very normal. You know, I think for me,
Yeah.
the problem is like I'm at the stable point in my life where like I kind of know what's happening each week because like I just work now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the uni part's done. It's a bit more stable, so it's easier for me to sort of keep in it.
Exactly. Yep.
But when you're at uni and stuff, it's like, you know, whether it's just exams, social, like there's so many different elements of your life that are happening all at the same time. It's a lot trickier to keep, you know, try and keep that balance, especially if you're not, like you said, you weren't too overly invested in the scene itself.
Yeah.
It's quite easy for you to take a step back. So that's fine. I thought it'd be interesting to see what was happening there. And there was just one more tournament. I don't know what this is. Like, I haven't even heard anything about it, so I thought I'd bring it up. It was called Digital Bunker. It said that you attended it. Do you remember this? Or
I
know what it was?
remember it actually quite clearly, because, and the reason I remember this was, it was a good venue. Like I like that venue too, but I feel like it only happened once. There was me and this random Shulk player, and we were playing just some friendlies, and then these two people come up behind us and they're like, "Oh wow, you guys are like really good," and we're both very average. Like I had only just stopped going O2, so I was like 1-2. Um, so we were like very average, and I just remember them saying, "Who's better?" And me and this other guy just kind of stared at each other, just being like, "I'm not going to say it's me. I'm not going to say it." Sorry, I'm not, yeah. It was just like this clash of just like, even. It was, yeah. That's the only thing I remember it, because once I went O2, I was like, because I went O2, there was a pretty big tournament if I remember correctly. I was like, I'm out, done. It's just like I'll go home, because again, I didn't know anyone there, so I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And that's like that's a scary thing, especially for newcomers to a tournament. Like, ideal scenario is either, you know, if you can bring a friend, it helps a lot.
It really does.
Otherwise, you get in that scenario. It's like I don't really know anyone. I mean, people are trying their best. Like I know I wouldn't say I go out of my way, but I try and be like polite to everyone. I'm happy to play friendlies and stuff. It just sucks. Like for me, it's like if you're in bracket, like it's really hard for me to go like I'm just gonna play friendlies with this like new person and then go into another bracket game and in and out. Like it's tricky. So it might like strongly recommend coming with a friend or even just like people that you talk to like in the Discord. Like if you know they're gonna come, like it's a good way to meet the people that you're talking to as well. And normally,
I actively. Sorry, you go.
no, go.
I actively, if I see someone by themselves or like two people that haven't really got into it, I will actively jump in and be like, "Hey guys, how you finding the tournament?" Like I take a leaf out of Jack's book, and I try my best to be as welcoming and warm as possible. And if and I'll always play friendlies with them. I'll always stay Falco, and I'll body the shit out of them because I get to practice my combos. But like I'm like I will be there, and I will like try to make you feel comfortable, because I like seeing fresh players come in. We toxic few, dude. Like I remember you came once, and like you went O2, and like I'm not sure if I came and talked to you much at all, but the fact is that you've kept coming back, even going O2, and you've started making waves. And like I feel people have been trying to kind of like talk to you and like bring you into the scene, and you're showing the growth. I'm really impressed. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but I really try and make people feel welcome and comfortable as well.
Yeah, no, it's important, and I think you know, it doesn't take much. Even the simple stuff, just saying hello to people as they come in, it's nice. It feels good when I come in. People say hi. I like it, you know. So I like to do the same. You know, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
As people leave, see you later. Like at the very least, you've acknowledged that they've been there and you acknowledge they're leaving. It's nice, you know. You don't have to say see you later. I know for some people it's not comfortable, but I like to say goodbye to everyone.
I literally walk out the door. just go, see everyone. Like I do that every time.
Yeah, and you hear it, see you, Crozzy.
Yeah, exactly. A few people here and there just like, hey, Crozzy. Yeah, it's nice. And I feel that gives people a general sense of community, which I really like to see in the Smash community.
Yeah.
Like I really hope to foster in the you know what I'm trying to
say. Definitely get it. It's important, and if your friends are interested, keep them coming because it keeps the scene alive. New faces is fun. Like it's fun for everyone. Getting to play different players. It's just part of the experience. Like I felt super I mean, I'll leave that for a little bit later. We'll explain that conversation.
I know where you're going.
We're almost there. We're almost there. So let's get on to Smash Ultimate. So we're speaking. We're talking about Smash 4. It's interesting. I always like in that little bit of history lesson. From the old folks. Yeah, but now it's time.
God, we're so fucking old, dude.
That's the curse part because like I'm an ultimate newcomer, right? But like I'm like older than 90% of the people we're playing against. It's so crazy. But so Ultimate actually came out December 2018. Now were you looking forward to that? Like, did you know it was coming out and you were looking forward to it coming out, or was it sort of like it sort of came out? You're like, oh yeah, this is sick. I'm playing this.
Well, Rafe actually messaged me and he was like, dude, there's a new Smash game being announced. And I was like, holy, like I got so excited, but I didn't know about it when it was released. Like Rafe told me a couple of weeks later or whatever. And then pretty much, I think there was it was like an hour-long Smash Direct. And it just revealed the entire game, like all the characters, all the stages, all the new things, everything. And I went over to Rafe's place and we just cried like the whole time. We were just like, oh, beautiful. It's everything I wanted it to be. And it was so good. Like, oh man, that was so exciting. I was really, really hyped when I saw that 1 hour trailer or whatever.
It's funny you say that because I think it's like the one time I remember where I was tearing up a bit because like I played this game forever. Yeah, I've been playing. Yeah. I've played Smash 64. I have thousands of hours of like every game. Like I've played this the whole way through. Never competitively. I had no fucking clue this shit was going on.
Oh, dude, I completely agree. I didn't know it was a competitive game until Smash 4.
That's what I mean. Like even Smash 4, it's just like I just didn't bump into anyone that knew that there was like a competitive scene. So I just played it casually, like for my friends. I just play random, knock them around. It was good for me. And then you're just like, wait, all these characters are like big Dr. Mario fan. Character sucks, but he was coming back. It's like all these characters are coming back. Like Snake, like that shouldn't even happen. Then it happened. It's happening again. Like why? And now he's just really annoying. But it's just like all these characters that like I've played as, or I've played against for all these years. It's all like accumulated into one game. And it's like this is insane. Like how is this happening? And it's nice to hear that other people had like a similar feeling, even though I was like old as hell at that point still. But we can still enjoy games, all right?
Exactly, we can enjoy it just as much as you all young ones.
All right, now your first Ultimate tourney that I can see on the record was GG Easy, which is sick.
I don't remember this. Like, I only remember going to GG Easy once, and that's where I met Wookins. Like, that's the only, and I feel like I was much better at the game because I came like 7th at that tournament.
Well, this one was in March 2019, so it was pretty early. You definitely went to a later one, and I saw the one you're talking about, which is like much later on, I remember. This one, oh god.
I don't remember this tournament at all, and I feel like there is another Crozzy in the world, so maybe he just came in and just like played, and you're looking at that. I don't know.
It's linked to your account, but like you said, the name is similar enough that it's possible. So
yeah.
Well, I'm just going off the stats. I'm a stats man. That's how I work.
No.
Now.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that one at all.
No issue, but we can talk about one that you definitely do remember. I know you remember this for a very good reason. The first Sunshine you went to was the first Sunshine I went to.
God, that was so good. I thought I was king shit. Because I didn't know that it was like, so for actually, you give the context.
Yeah. All right. So I'll start off with like me even going. So, me and Crozzy have a mutual friend, China. If you've met him, he plays in S. He was like, "Come on," like he's basically like, "Come on, Michael, like, come to a tournament. You know, you're good. You know, you should give it a shot. Like, I'm sure you enjoy it." I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm super reluctant. I'm like, I don't really want to go. It's like, that's fine. You know, Crozzy's coming. You know,
He was
Crozzy.
giving this exact same speech to me, like the exact same speech.
God damn, Andy. It was too good. Like, who would have thought it would have ended up like this, and now we're doing a podcast like nearly 2 years later. But yeah, Andy convinced us to go, and it was a blast. There was 8 of us. Nobody that was good was there pretty much. Most of us were just newcomers. Everyone that went to BAM didn't show because they were at BAM all weekend, so they're like, nah, we're not coming. So it was just like all newcomers playing at the start. Marcel, being just the awesome dude he is just like, you know what? There's 8 people. Top 8 best of 5. And it was literally, you got the most experience you could have possibly got out of a bracket for your first time.
So good. Yeah, it was brilliant. And it was like, it was a really warm, it was just a nice vibe, you know? Like, the thing is, I didn't know it was after BAM. So I thought, holy shit, I'm really fucking good at this game. Like, I'm really good. And then I came back like the week after or the week after that. And then I went 0-2 and I was like, oh shit. Oh, what happened? And then I think I must have been talking to Andy or maybe even Marcel. And they said, no, like a massive tournament just happened. So everyone just had fatigue. And I was like, a little tear just ran down my cheek.
To give some clarification for everyone, Crozzy won this first tournament, so that's like nutty, right? Like in your head, you're just like, "Fuck, I'm good," right? Like I've won my first Ultimate tournament. I'm obviously really good at this fucking game.
Yeah,
but
a whole $16. I've actually got the little piece of paper that came in that. Like I've still got that in my car. I was so happy.
God damn, it's so funny because it was pretty much just you, and I think Little Mark played Smash 4 as well. But I don't know if he was he went to many tournaments or not, but like he definitely played it like with with the other fellas as well. So it's just that you and Little Mark that have played Smash 4, and all of us are like fresh, like we got no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And you cleaned up that day, so own it. Winning a Sunshine is nothing to be scoffed at.
I was so happy, and I will forever be happy about that day, but I won't ever think about the feelings I felt 2 weeks later.
So I looked through the rest of the games, and it looked like Sunshine was pretty much the regular for you. You know, like it's close to home, it's around the corner.
Yeah, it literally took me like 10 minutes to get there, not even.
Yeah, it was the one that you pretty much attended like consistently. So you were still doing not as bad as you were making out. Like they weren't too big at the start, but they got like progressively bigger. But some of your tournaments you're getting 9th, and then you're getting like 4th and 9th for like your average sort of results. Sometimes a little bit less.
They were quite small tournaments at the early days, though. So like,
just more for context, especially for like the newer players, because they're used to Sunshine having 32 people. Like Sunshine.
Oh my god! Actually, sorry, I've got something to really intrude in here.
Yeah.
I think it was once the tournaments started getting bigger. Marcel was like, we're gonna up the price to $10, but your name will go into a raffle." And I'm holding in my hands right now the prize of that raffle, which is a Wave 1 Mario amiibo holding a fireball sort of thing, and it's mint condition, or was mint condition. It's kind of it's just been sitting on my shelf this entire time, and it is just beautiful. And the thing is, I totally forgot. Marcel came up to me and just like, "Here, Crozzy, you won." And I was like, "Wait, I went 0-2 last week. What do you mean? What is this?" And he's like, "The raffle." It's like, "What raffle? I didn't enter a raffle." We're just like, "Just take the fucking thing."
I remember that now. Now that you said it, I can't remember what it was for. I think Sandman might have been raising some money.
Oh, okay.
It was a charity thing.
It was. I do remember it was for a charity, and
and that was like one of the prizes, I remember.
Yeah, I'm very stoked to have it. I have no use for it, but it's a nice memory to have.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's such a weird. This game is so weird. Like it's hard to explain, but like moments. It's not like the material. Like I've never been like, fuck yeah, I remember that $48 I won that time. Like it's like I remember beating this person doing this exact thing at this time in that chair. Like, that's the stuff that you remember. It's nuts. Like, how it can... You get so enthralled in it. It's nuts. Like, what a game.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So that's fine. I'll go on to the next point. So you went to an
yeah.
EBS eventually. So it was like a lot of Sunshine, which is like similar to me. I just pretty much went to Sunshine only.
Yeah.
And you ended up going to EBS in August 2019. And you got like 33rd, which is not as bad as it looks, because EBS was like 64-man cap. And it like got close most of the time, you know, so it's pretty solid.
I still think that was probably when I was going like 1-2, like after Sunshine, and I started feeling more confident in my abilities. I was like, oh yeah, like I'm still not great, but I can see improvement. And when I went to EBS, I think it was the first time I ever learned active hop, which is a Falco like thing. It's like instant double jump. And so that's when I went to EBS, and like although I still didn't do too well, but I would have gone like 1-2, maybe 2-2, whatever it works out to be. But yeah, I was like, I can see improvement, so let's jump into EBS, and EBS is much more stacked.
Yeah, I mean, I think for people that didn't really know, like back then, like Sunshine was like, it was literally like the do-on and if Corvid show. Everyone else sucked pretty much, like relatively speaking. You've got 2 PR players, and then significant gap in skill. Everyone else
significant, like it was huge.
Yeah, it was like basically if I ran into do-ons, like I accepted the 3-0 before we played. Like if I made it that far, I was just like, I'm just gonna lose.
Yeah. And then randomly, some rando wolf player shows up and just is like, hang on a second, why is he beating some like good players? Yeah. And then now we have IB.
Yeah, and IB came out of fucking nowhere. Like
nowhere.
He just comes and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm playing wolf. And he just like claps everyone, and we're just like, how is he good?
Because like when I came up to him, and I was just like, oh, sweet, Wolf. Like, I can manage Wolf pretty easy. He's a new player. I'll do this. I went into him really confident. And I was like, oh, shit. What? Wait, what's happening? Why? How? And then I went 0-2, and I was like, oh, okay, well. And then I think he came 3rd that day or something. It was wild.
Yeah, he was nuts. There's no questions asked.
He's just getting nuttier.
That's the crazy part. So, like, I think for IB, the big thing was, like, paradigm shift. So, like, IB was good, but he was, like... He would go for some weird shit. Like, it made no sense. The risk-reward was not there, but he'd just do it. Yeah. And it either worked or it didn't. 50-50 with IB. Yeah, so he would just, like, destroy you, but then he'd do something stupid and die. And honestly, all our games were close because he pretty much threw most of them. Like, I should have lost every set that I won, but he'd do something stupid and die. Because he was just the better player, but his risk reward was just not there. And now he's just like really polished it up.
He nailed that risk reward. Have you seen his up Bs in neutral? Like what?
He's calmed down on it now. It was like getting out of control for a bit, where he was like literally just letting him rip 24/7. Now it's just like calculated, you know, like okay, if I get this, I'm just win. But yeah, EBS, that was like the first EBS you went to, and you didn't go back for quite a while. I'm gonna guess, like from my perspective, probably a work thing, because EBS starts at fucking 5:30, and that sucks for like most people.
What year was that? 19?
Yeah, 2019, August.
Yeah, so I was still working at the Deer Park Club, so you know, it was if I would mostly work the night shift at the Deer Park Club, so I just wouldn't be able to go most of the time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I had a feeling it was that, because like you were definitely into it, because you'll come in every Monday. It's just like, and then you'd get this one every now and again Tuesday that you'd pop up, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then from there, like your Sunshines are pretty consistent, similar results, you know, 4th to 9th, that sort of range, pretty consistently. And then you finally made it to like a Rambat for Smash Ultimate, you know? This is October 2019, so as someone that's attended
the greatest day in history.
Was it? Or was it a little bit later? It might have been
Oh,
later.
okay. I'm not sure. Sorry, I may have skipped a moment here.
I definitely have the one you're talking about, and that's the next year. But we'll get back to it. We'll start with this question. So,
Yeah.
do you feel like there was a big difference between the two different Rambats? Like, I know it was at the same venue, it's obviously two different games, but did they feel different, or were they still very
They
similar?
felt the exact same. Like they were identical. The smell was the most memorable thing, and everything down to like the CRT TVs. The even that was like the placement was the same.
Hmm.
Like it was everything was identical. The vibe was the same. The only thing was that there were some faces that I was missing, and there were some new faces there. Like one of the faces I miss more than anything is Chinrees. He was a Chic in Smash 4, and
Mm-hmm.
he was great. I loved me and him. We got along really well, and because he was fraction better than me, so he was like he was able to teach me a bunch of stuff, and because we got along really well, it was really comfortable. And so he was no longer there, so my go-to person was like, oh, where you gone? So,
Yeah.
but like it was a very similar vibe.
No, that's fair enough. I know. I think Chin's been to like one Rani. I think like for
Yeah,
Ultimate, like he didn't really come to much, and obviously he's not playing.
yeah.
But yeah, that's hard. I know that can be tricky when you don't have like that support person. Like in a sense, like it sounds really bad, but like it's nice to have someone that you're comfortable
Well,
with
I
that's going
actually
to be there.
still I had a few people from Smash 4. So Kevlar, if you're or
Yep.
Kevin, um, me and him, we actually we'd gone out a couple of nights. Me, him, and Human Error, like, and Rafe, like we actually kind of had like a little bit of a group. Like we would go out and hang out, and it was really good. Fucking loved hanging out with them. And Kevlar, he is the ultimate. How do I say? He's just like, yeah, bro, no worries. Like he's kind of a hype man, but also a chill man. He's like,
Yeah,
dude, yeah,
he has like
like
this
you're doing,
what's the word for it? It's like a carefree aura. Like he makes you feel
yeah,
relaxed just because he's there.
so comfortable. It's really nice. I really like him, and I would love to be like more of a friend to him. But the problem is he lives on the other side of the city, but we got along so well. And so he came to those early Randbats, and it was whenever I'd see him, I'd be like, fuck yeah, Kevin, how you doing, dude? Yeah, really good. So but you are right. If him or Chinrees wasn't there, I'd kind of be a little bit like,
Yeah, it's a full on experience. Like it's very competitive. The vibes there. It's awesome when you're into it, but when you're new, it's like very daunting.
yeah.
It's nice to have the support group.
Because there can be upwards of 100 people, and that's a huge crowd.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and you know how to draw a crowd, but we'll get to that later. But first, now let's talk
yeah.
about another big tournament because this was massive. You attended the Arcadian as well, right? Like you were there.
Oh my god! So I really liked the Arcadian, but this is maybe M plus rating, but I got really cooked the night before, and I didn't sleep a wink, and I was like hung over, and I was like, I am gonna do so bad at this tournament.
God damn.
Yeah, I saw Kami did the same thing when you had him on, and I was just like, oh man, I didn't know you did that as well. I feel that, dude.
There we go. That's a story for the people because I did not know that. I definitely knew the Kami one because I was speaking to him and he was just like, "Yeah, mate, I'm fucked. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not feeling it." But he was there. He was there in He was physically there, even if he may not have actually been there. And I think that might have been similar for you.
It was because like I played. I still what did I get into silver or something, and I played okay, but it was like I could tell I was slow on everything. Like
Mm.
everything that I was doing. I was against a Ganondorf and he 2-0'd me, and I was like, he shouldn't have 2-0'd me. I can beat him. Like I can absolutely beat him, but my brain was just done. Like I was like, yeah, this isn't.
So I guess overall, it wasn't probably the same. A lot of people enjoyed it. Did you enjoy the overall event?
Oh no, I loved it. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. The fact that I like the fact that I still enjoyed myself, even though I was coming down bad, like, is credit. And I do remember seeing Al sleeping somewhere, and I was like, the fuck is this? This is great. And that really picked up my spirit.
Let's go, Ernest. Not a part of the
Yeah.
problem. Well, let's not go there.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, it was
It's
a good
so
fun. I talk about this like pretty much every time. The Arcadian comes up because we've all pretty much played it. If you weren't there, the Arcadian was basically anyone that wasn't on the PR was allowed to enter. So there was no like top players present. But they were there just to like sort of help out and play friendlies and stuff like that. But they weren't allowed to actually play in the tournament. And we ended up somehow getting 220 people to attend. It was ridiculous.
Wow, I didn't know there was that many people, but it makes so much sense because I couldn't fucking move. There was a line to get in.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know how we got as far as we did in the bracket in one day. Because I think there might have been like,
Credits.
there was 32 setups or something for 220 people.
Oh my god.
How did they do it? I don't understand, but it was amazing. Thank you, TOs, all the time. But like,
Yeah, I swear to God, the effort given by everyone there was monumental. Like, I am so impressed with everyone. Like, and it went off really well because I think it was only like the last two sets weren't played. Like maybe the top 8 wasn't played.
no, it was legit just
And-
top 3. Like there was 2 sets to go.
And it was great. Like, and it was cool. I wish we could have seen it, but like, yeah,
What can we do? That's just
it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah. Now, for you, the closest you've been to attending a major, unfortunately, I don't think you've attended any majors yet. From what I can see. Rip Bam 12. Was Couch Warriors Cross Up. So that was like a semi-major. It was like, it was like a Rambat, but like some people from interstate came down. Did you feel like there was a bit of a vibe difference from that to like other tournaments?
No, really, because I don't quite remember. I just saw it as another monthly. Like, I didn't feel any difference.
Okay, now it's interesting. I guess it's a perspective thing, right? Like, if
I
you
knew I was going to go O2 or something, so like it was just another monthly.
No, I mean, fair enough. Like, it makes sense, right? Like, it's just like another tournament to attend, just at a different venue. It's like, oh, I've got to go slightly out of my way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right, but don't worry. One day, we will get you to a major.
When I hear the stories about, was it Sunnyside that everyone went to? Like, where, oh man, when I saw that crowd, everyone was going, mod, mod, mod. And you were like hyping everyone up. I was like, fuck, I want to be there.
God
that
damn.
looks like so much fun. And then I hear the stories about, like people going out clubbing and like having just a great time or just grinding hard. And like, you've got that choice of what you want to do. Like, it just sounds like a really, really good time. My only fear, like, this is a really self-saboteurish sort of fear or anxiety fear, is that just no one would want to go with me, and that kind of like really stops my buying the tickets sort of thing. It's like, oh, no one would want to room with me, no one would want to do this, and I'm just like,
I mean, I can understand the concept, but the reality is, like, I've hung out with you for friendlies and stuff, and just like, outside of the game itself, and in general, like, you're a very pleasant person to be around. You know what I mean? Like, I know people might think of you as like, oh, it's a dude that pops off, but like when you play friendlies, it's just like, I remember that being super duper chill. We were just like hanging out for a couple of hours, playing some games, talking. Like, it was super normal.
yeah.
And I think as someone like yourself, which is so like, you're like one of the cleanest people I know. Like, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to room with someone that's this clean. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Shucks, you should see my house. It's really, really beautiful. It's so spotless.
It's actually insane.
I'm a very clean person.
It's not the shoes off thing. It's like, do I need to put on like special booties or something for my feet so I don't do it? Like, it's so clean, it's nuts.
Oh shucks.
So yeah, when the time
comes,
comes,
my ego here, man. Thank you.
I mean, it's based on what I've seen. It's not, I'm not just playing it up. It was legit. It was nuts.
So hopefully I'll be able to get to go to a major. It would be great.
Yeah, keep it in mind, people, when the opportunity arises and it's safe to do so, and we can. Keep Crozzy in mind as someone to room with, because
as Kami says, or not Kami says, but Kami mentions, I am a very clean and responsible adult, but I can get really fucking loose. Like, there is two sides to this coin. Like, I'm very responsible and I do pleasant things throughout my day, but like at night it can be a mess, and I love it.
Yeah, no, that's. I could see it. I mean, I don't have to see it. I know it. You guys will have to see it at some point. Now we'll move on to 2020 because that's like the year for people. You know, I feel like
Oh yeah,
the
that's when
scene.
everyone's coming out.
Yeah, the scene developed a lot. Like that first year was like a lot of the newcomers like still trying to understand how the game works. And things started to change a lot. So, looking through your results for 2020, they were similar at the start. Like, it was a bit of a slow start. 65th at the Jan Rambat. Similar weekly results to before.
This is still the 1-2s maximum, like throughout.
Yeah, and that's like, it happens. Yeah, like, everyone peaks at different points. There's the eureka moment, it happens. And in this case, the February Rambat was like where most people could see that shift. That was a Rambat that was like packed full of like moments. Like Feb Rambat was chockers. There was so much shit going on. Do you remember anything in particular about that event?
I don't remember much. I don't like Corvid, maybe mute your headset right now. I don't remember much, but I remember a fucking huge crowd behind me and Corvid playing a set, and it was to the fucking wire to win. It was the best. I've never felt so excited in a game, and that was like I could hear everyone behind me. Oh my god, he's just and then the second me and Corbett both run at each other, and we both send out a back air, and for some reason my back air connects, and I win, and I just lose my shit, absolutely go fucking wild, and then I turn around, there's a crowd of like 30 to 50 people there, and it's the most adrenaline pumping thing that I have ever been a part of. And Corvid, I'm sorry, I hugged you, and I know you weren't up for a hug, but I had so much energy in my body that I didn't know what to do with it. I couldn't hug the 30 people behind us. It was just so crazy. I was shaking for the entire day, like the entire day. That was the most fun I've ever had, and it was absolutely amazing. Yeah,
That
that
was
was good.
yeah. Just I'd let you go with that because it's like this was a moment. It was nuts. I remember, I think Scully came down with another fella. And he was just like, "What's going on?" You know, it's like just like some like grudge match rivalry, and it's like, "No, it's just Crozzy." It's like, "What do you mean?" And it's like he pops off, man. He just pops off. So it's like, oh, and he's just watching, and there's like 40 people just like watching, like they're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
waiting, and it's like it was so ridiculous. Like, it's nuts.
It was like I've got that picture that Lalil, I forgot his actual name. I feel
Yeah,
bad. He took a picture, and like you scroll through everyone's face and everyone is like biting their nails. It is absolutely phenomenal. It is such a great photo. I love it so much that I cried when I won. Like I literally cried of just pure excitement. Oh god, that was. I'm getting so excited. I think about it so much. like I don't think I played particularly well, and I don't think Corvid played particularly well. It was just the hype around it. It was so much fun.
that's awesome. Do you after that, yeah, because I think the end result was 33rd, which is like solid. You know, that's a really
Yeah,
good placing. At like
I
that's
I,
nuts.
I flubbed it against a Terry main. I had never played a Terry before. I beat him once and then had to verse him again in pools. And he beat me, and there was a small crowd around us then, but like we were both playing pretty terrible, nothing interesting, and I was like, I needed that to get out of pools, and I the only other Terry I fought was him, and it was like 30 minutes ago, and so I I kind of flubbed it. I didn't do too well, and unfortunately, that was the end of that run. But goddamn, that was good.
Was that Cyanide? It might have been. I'm trying to think because there was a couple of
It
theories.
could have been. It could have been good.
Because
Sorry.
Cyanide went on a fucking run. I think he got like 9th or something.
Oh yeah, Cyanide killed it. He did so well. And while we're on this topic, I know it's coming up. That what do you call that thing? Crew battle? Oh,
I didn't say it, guys. He said it. Now I have to talk about it.
that crew battle was phenomenal. But the thing is, I feel like I know there was like tension, not tension, like friendly rivalry tension between Pixel and Sunshine. It was a lot of fun. But I feel like Sunshine kind of took it to another level. Like Dom was there trying to make a video. Marcel was making like a rap track or something like that. Like we were running with it. Like we were going, and it was. I'm so sad that we don't have that like diss track or whatever it is, because Dom video recorded me doing like Sunshine, getting like slow and like really gangster, and I was like, I felt myself when he was taking that video. It was great. And he was like, yeah, this is awesome. I was like, I need to see this. This will go awesome. And then he just left the country. Like, ugh.
I just remember that because we had Static. He was like busting some moves at the front of the old Sunshine, and we were just like, we were trying to look cool, and we just like actually just wanted to watch Static, like because it was sick. It went off. It was nuts. But like basically, the logic behind it is we thought we had 0 chance of actually winning this, so we like played along big time, like as if we had a chance.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because Pixel was stacked, and so we were just like, oh, like yeah, we'll just have fun with this. It'll be great. We'll play along, like you said.
But yeah, like, can you give me like the perspective from someone outside that was watching it? Because like I've watched it, I was playing it. What was it like to be a spectator there?
The tension was real, and it was like, sorry, the tension was real, and I'm trying to get my thoughts in order.
No, don't stress. It's pretty probably different, like on a different scale to like a lot of the other stuff we're talking about.
Oh yes, like we could feel the tension, and like I remember a particular moment where IB did his up B in neutral, and the crowd's like, oh! Like everyone, like that was sick. Like it was really good, and it was nice and close too, and a wide variety of characters. And I was like, holy shit, this is everything I want in a crew battle. This is brilliant. I'm sad that it ended. Like Harris did great, but I am sad that he ended it the way he did. The clean was kind of like not the grab was kind of not clean, and him throwing it off was kind of like easy, but I wish it had ended in a cooler fashion. But when he had grabbed him, the entire crowd was already off of their chair, ready to like absolutely go wild. And then I just hear clang, clang, chairs falling everywhere, just a huge circle around Harris, and then everyone just like, it's like, I can't remember if we were chanting Sunshine Gang, but I'm sure we were, because it seems like a great thing to do. Like, it was so good. It was so much fun.
It was nuts. Like it's just, I guess for me, I was so nervous because I did not want to be a part of this thing the entire time.
How did you feel? Because like I think you knocked someone out, didn't you?
I took 4 stocks. So I was very happy with my end result.
Dude, that's sick.
I had to play Shen, and
oh, that's a rough one.
Yeah, Shen had my number for a while, and I know I had like the stocks, like if that made sense, because it was 3 stocks to 2. But the fact that I could beat him, like that, like I got the kill that won us, like he was like the problem person, if that makes sense in my head. It's like if I didn't get him, because I asked to play Shen. I said I can deal with this. I'm confident that I can.
Oh man,
I can do it.
That's some cojones you got there. That's nice.
Like basically, if I didn't do it, like it wasn't necessarily going to happen because we only had Harris left, and I feel like Donkey Kong Terry is not as good as it looks.
Yeah, that is a very smart move. Well played.
So it was just like I went for it, and I think that's the only time I've ever popped off in my entire life. And I still feel bad, Shane, if you're hearing this. I'm sorry because I didn't fist bump nothing. I literally just fucking yelled.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of I remember it was in the early days of Sunshine where I beat you and I popped off so fucking hard. And then like you were upset and mad, and like I get it. And then I messaged you later being like, hey dude, I'm sorry that I did that. Like I see you as such a good player and I was so excited to beat you. I'm really sorry. Is there anything I could have done different? And you were very nice and very calm, and you said, yeah, man, just like shake my hand first and then pop off because like I was just sitting there like an idiot and I was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, dude. Anyways, I just want to say to the world who's listening, I'm sorry that I popped off on you, Mod, and made you sit there like an idiot.
Look, it's all good. I think I've had this discussion a lot with a lot of people, not like you specifically, but just in general. It's just like important, like, because I didn't want to take the moment from you, but I also feel like if I walk away, then it's me like I cracked the sads because I left, but I also couldn't like fist bump to leave, so I just sort of like had to stand there like this fucking idiot, and I'm just like I don't know what to do, and I don't want to be here, but I have to do it. It was the most conflicting situation I've ever been in.
Just so everyone knows, if I ever pop off on you, I will come back to you. You can up and leave and do whatever you need to, take a piss, whatever, because I'll pop off for an hour, who knows. But like I will come back to you and be like, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for that game. That was a lot of fun. Like I will come to you genuinely and tell you that I appreciated the game that we had.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It was totally cool because afterwards, we fist bumped, whatever, shook hands, and it was fine. But it was just like, man, that was like that 20 seconds or whatever it was when you were rolling on the floor. That literally felt like 5 minutes, man. It was nuts. A chair disappeared from its location. It like flew, and then you rolled around somewhere, and I'm just like, this is the slowest time of my life. It's like when you see like the world crumbling around you, it's like that. You just can't escape. It's so in retrospect, it was really funny. Like I'm like thinking about it now, I'm like, like I'm always laughing, but it's like at the time I was like, this is dreadful feeling. I'm just like, this is so fucked. Like, oh god. But no, I appreciate that. So you can clear it, fellas. Like, there's no issue here. If I had an issue, clearly this bloke wouldn't be on the podcast. But no, I had no issue. You basically covered that next point because that was talking about the sunshine that you. No, that wasn't actually. I remember looking this one up. So like after that Rambat, you got third, like a top 3 at a sunshine. You haven't had a top 3 since you got that the first tournament you went to at Sunshine. Do you remember anything really about it, or like did you feel like around that time frame that there was an improvement in your play?
So I said earlier. Hang on.
Yep.
Big burp, sorry. I remember earlier I said that I learned the active hop when I went to EBS, and I think I'm lying because I think this was when so maybe I like perfected the active hop, and doing the active hop with Falco is a huge skill level bump. Like that, when you can do that, that takes your 30% combos to 70 to 90% combos. Like it is a game changer.
Yeah.
And it was super new. Like I was onto it like week 1, and people were just shook by it. Like people were just like, hang on a second, wait, why am I dead? Hang on, what's happened? So like I'd get them to 90, and then I just people would keep jumping from ledge, and I just spike them. Like I'd do the F tilt over the ledge, and they'd try and jump, and I just jump and spike them. I was on point that day. New tech, I was finding my groove, and people were just shook by what I was able to do. Like I don't think people were aware of it. And yeah, I've just played out of my mind. It was good.
No, that's fair enough. And that's sort of.
Sorry, you go.
No, it's okay, because that's roughly like that was right. What, Feb, March, right? Where that sort of stuff was happening. And everyone saw it and they could feel it.
People could see the characters starting to develop. Not just Falco, but other characters were beginning to develop.
Yeah, the meta was sort of like it wasn't. I wouldn't say stagnant, but it was more like just people in general. There was just like an uplift in skill level, like all around. The lower level players were starting to actually feel like mid-level players.
Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of people, I know for myself specifically, sadly can't talk about Phantom this time. Sorry, guys. Because that third at the Sunshine was the week after Phantom, and I didn't go to it. That's why I remember that one when I looked at it, I'm like, man, top three sick, and I was like, I didn't go. I was like, damn, I mean, IB won that one. Because I thought it might have been that week where you beat me. That's why I
Yeah, I
checked
think
it.
you're right.
But it wasn't that week. It was a different week.
Okay.
That's why and it's funny how you ended up talking about it beforehand. But there was like a lot of the momentum for a lot of players with that peak. You know, it kind of got killed due to coronavirus. You know, we all got locked at home for a long, extended period of time. A lot of us ended up just taking a break. I played Mario 64 for like God knows how many hours instead.
Which I gotta say, that was a fun tournament to watch. I really liked watching that, and I'd love to watch another.
You never know. There might be something eventually. It's harder now because before we had an excuse.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like we had nothing else better to do. But who knows? Like I think it's something that could come back at some point, even if it's just 16 star or something. But it was a lot of fun. You know, for me that was the break. Others, you know, they turned to the devil, started playing on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, guilty.
Yeah, you know what? And I think you know you entered a couple of Wi-Fi tournaments during the pandemic. Was that mostly just something to fill the gap or scratch the itch for Smash, or?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because I just really liked Smash Bros, and I was just like, I'm just gonna keep playing. There's no other game that I'm playing right now, and yeah, and like I knew I was like somewhat good, and yeah, just like yeah, I'll enter a couple of tournaments. It's just like it was purely just to kill the time, and just people say you can't practice on Wi-Fi, but I was like, I'm gonna practice.
Yeah, no, and I think like it's a misconception. Like for me, it's not so much the issue that I can't practice, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to practice. It's really hard with me like consciously changing the playstyle to match playing offline, and it a lot of misinputting and things being eaten up like by shitty servers and stuff, and I'm just like I'm not doing this anymore. I feel like I'm getting worse. So I stopped.
When I came back to like a tournament, I was like, shit, I'm not. I have a lot of Wi-Fi habits.
I've seen
everyone is checking everything. I can't jab block people. What the fuck?
I remember saying that to Crozzy, like, "Oh my god, dude, this tech thing's sick, and you're gonna get it one day. Like, you're gonna get this F tilt that's gonna lead into a tech chase." But so many times, like you went from online, like we played a few times online, and it was like I'd miss tech everything, and then you see it offline, it's like I'm pretty sure nearly everyone teched everything. Like you really got it.
Everyone teched it all. So I've actually adapted to that. So that's actually a good thing. Wi-Fi has made me adapt. So I now when I do that F tilt to shine lock, I would always go for a shine lock. I now just wait for the roll read and just do the phantasm instead, because I would go F tilt, shine lock, phantasm. Now it's the shine was completely unnecessary. It's just like, hey, that's fucking cool, because whenever I do get it, and people next to me will go like, wait, what? What? Hey, wait, what? And I'm just like, yeah, that's the source that I'm looking for. But now, if I want to win tournaments, don't go for the shine lock, don't go for the style points, go for the phantasm, and just cover pretty much every option except get up attack.
Yeah, it's a good point to make. It's actually the phantasm itself is not a bad thing. It's just like knowing how to use it right, because like you said, you're going for the lock into it when you could just cover 3 out of 4 options instead. You know,
exactly.
That's nuts.
So, but yeah, so Wi-Fi, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and like, oh man, being able like, oh god, you should have seen the pop-offs I had. I beat Nerd like I think in one tournament. I beat him in winners. Oh no, yeah, beat him twice. So I beat him in winners and then beat him in losers at some point. And the second time I versed him, I popped off so hard in my lounge room. I ran between my lounge room and my kitchen. I basically did a lap of the house. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I did it. I was like jumping up and down, and Sam was just standing there, just like, "Oh my god, you're so weird."
Yeah. Look, for me, like, I wish I could have been that hype about it, but like, I think I entered a couple at the start, and I was like, I'd win. I'm just like, I don't know, it just didn't feel the same, man. Like for me, like the player, it was good players too, but it's just like it just did not feel the same. Like I don't know if it was just because like character hate was at its highest at that point, or what it was, but it's like I'd win and be like, yeah, GG's, and I'd just like
Yeah, yeah.
wait for an hour and a half to play my next game because you know how Wi-Fi tournaments were.
Oh my god, I hated that so much. Like oh man, that sucked. I hated waiting so goddamn long. And the thing is, like another thing, the Wi-Fi community was like really toxic, and I am the least toxic person you'll ever meet in your entire life. Like that's actually something that I want to get to a little bit later. But like, I absolutely like people would just be like, "Ah, oh, fuck your Falco, your Wi-Fi Falco, fuck this, fuck that." I'm like, dude, just oh my god, I'm just playing a game.
It's pretty intense.
It's like, why are you so mad? Like, dude.
It was definitely problematic, and I could see it a lot. And it basically put me off playing. It's like instantly it was like Wi-Fi Rob, and I was just like, I can't help this. This is the character I've played for the last year. I'm trying to keep on top of this character.
Exactly.
I mean, I just stopped entering stuff because I'm just like, you know what? Clearly, my mental doesn't need this. I'm just gonna stop playing.
I remember the Wi-Fi PR came out, and I was like number 34, and like, shit, really? I don't remember like entering. Like, I entered a few tournaments, but I don't think I entered that many, and also didn't perform that well. Like, I was very confused as to why I was there, and then I pretty much after, and because like actually I stopped entering Wi-Fi tournaments maybe like a month or 2 months before that was released.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did I get that high? And then I I hadn't entered a a Wi-Fi tournament for ages, and then they updated it, and I was just like, no, I don't deserve to be here. What's going on? But yeah, anyways, I find Wi-Fi rankings quite whack.
I think the issue is that they use they use statistics in a very interesting way. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just like it oversimplifies how PRs actually work. PRs look at wins like your good wins, your bad losses, not just your ranks. Whereas for them, it was like if you got top 8 at this, you get X amount of points, which is not the best way to sort of calculate how good players are. It was all good for like some fun and getting some people.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good laugh for a lot of people.
Yeah, but it was just like it doesn't really represent much. Like it's not as much thought goes into it as to like our 50 or the PR sort of systems in general. But
speaking of, I am so excited to see this new PR because I popped off so hard. There's actually a really good Twitter post that Mitch, he's the Ergon said, Ergon showed his workmate. He was like, oh my god, Crozzy made number 50, and he told his workmate, when this guy who's number 50 sees this, he's going to make a Twitter post that's full caps, 1,000 exclamation marks, and telling how happy he is. And he showed him my exact tweet of, oh my god,
I fucking 50. Remember this.
And then his workmate is just like, holy shit, that's so crazy. Yeah.
I remember Ergon speaking to me about that. He's just like, oh no. I can't remember if it was at a tournament or what it was, but I remember like Ergon's like, no, I called this. And literally like pretty much word for word what you said was on there. It was nuts.
it was so funny. And like, another burp, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so when I was telling Sam, I can't remember what was happening, but that's right, because I'm a funeral director. I think about my funeral a lot and what I want, and I said if Sam ever gives a eulogy, that my shining moment in life was making the top 50 in Victoria. That's the best thing that has ever happened to me. Just like, it's not the best thing that's ever happened to me, but what it made me feel was the best thing that's ever happened. Like, it was so enjoyable. the amount of endorphins and shit that just rushed through my body. So I'm looking forward to the new one that's coming out because I feel I've performed a lot better this somewhat season. So I look forward to the next ranking. Hopefully, I'm aiming for between 30 and 40.
I don't know how they're doing it actually this time, so I have no idea.
Because I saw, because when EBS was announced, they said season ranking also coming.
Yeah, no, I just don't know like to what extent they're doing it. I didn't read into it too much. I was just like, it's awesome that this is coming back, and that was about it mentally.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
I completely.
It's basically to give people like the concept and sort of lead us into the next sort of area. It's like this is like the post-lockdown scenario, right? So, things are slowly starting to get back in, and this is where we're sort of leading towards this. Like having the 50 or the 40 or whatever it may be this time. That sort of system back in place. But early on, we're talking like the time we moved to stage 3 restrictions, and it was basically only Pixel that could run with the 20-man tournament. Do you remember what it was like to finally be able to go back and play at a tournament that was like offline again?
Oh my god, that was great. Although it was 20 people, I still came 5th, and I beat 2 people that I really, really like considered great players, which was P9, which was amazing. Like when I beat him, I was like, holy shit. And then I went into Earl, and Earl gave me the Falco Ditto, and he was the Falco that I idolized. I was like, I want to be as good as Earl. Like, I want to be as good as him. And I 3-0'd him in the Falco Ditto. And because we had to be separate because of COVID, so I was in one booth and he was on the booth next to me, so he couldn't see me. But every time I took a stock, I was like, you can't see me, but I was screaming with no volume, pumping my fist, just like every single time. And I was playing really well that day as well. And coming back, and I was like, oh, that's right. This is why I play this game. This is why I like to play competitively, because of this, although it was small, I still beat 2 people who I considered great players.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It was back online again for a little bit longer after that, unfortunately.
Sadly.
It was like 3 or 4 weeks that we had the 20-man local. Let's skip forward to the fun part. No one cares about the boring lockdown part.
Agreed.
Yep, we get back to like late November. Pixel opens up again, but they have an outside tournaments, and that was comply with the COVID restrictions and the like.
I actually really liked the outside of it all. Like, I found that so great, and considering daylight savings as well, so it was like light the entire time. That was great. I loved it.
Because that was like basically my question. Did you like that atmosphere being outdoors?
It felt super friendly and nice, and like everyone was just having a good time. Like it was really, really good. I liked it. I thought that those were great tournaments.
Yeah, especially I think with a lot of people like just being able to come back, play, catch up with your mates again, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, completely agree.
Then we had our first monthly back after COVID, the COVID normal period, which was Pixel Perfect, which ran round robin pools. Now I know that was like pretty common with Smash 4 stuff, but in Ultimate that's really rare. Like we don't really have round robin pools or anything.
Yeah.
Did you like that format?
I loved the round robins because I got to play so many games, and I got to play against like good people. It was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think if we could, I know it's hard to do, but I think doing round robins is definitely the way to go. Like you get to way more matchup experience. You get to verse a variety of skill levels. Like it's great. Like I think that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, no, I understand it. Like I know for us with we'll talk about it a bit after, but with like Super Sunshine Smash, that was like that our issue with that was purely logistical. We just couldn't, like, you need a lot of monitors to make round robin pools work, and we just couldn't feasibly do it safely at the venue. So we've chosen the option we had. At some point, I'd love to do round robins, But like you said, it's just making sure that we can meet both sides of things. I'd like round robins, but I also need to make sure the tournament ends. And two, I need to make sure we can.
Yeah, it does take a lot longer. Right,
Yeah.
right.
So that's why I went with the double limb, but making sure we had amateurs for everyone. So everyone basically is guaranteed, roughly 4 games. If you O2 in both, you get 4 games. If you get, you win both your games and then you lose your next 2 when you get into pro bracket, you've won. That's 4 games.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. But you did really well at that pixel perfect, and you got 13th, which is very solid. There was a lot of big names there too. It wasn't a cruisy tournament.
I think I beat Princess that day as well, and like I was like, holy shit! Like this is the time when I started taking big names like P9, Earl, Princess. I'm sure there's a few others. Like
there's people on the hit list.
Yeah, there's people, and I'm like, shit. Am I good at this game? Like, I'm beating really good players, and I think I beat Princess that day, and he was mad, but like that was like, okay, I'm happy to lose now, I'm fine to go out. That was like such a good thing. I don't like to pop off on Princess. I don't know what it is that I feel vibes, and I feel like I like Princess, but I feel if I popped off on him, he would get really salty, because he gets salty, but like if I popped off, he would like lose his shit somewhat. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I've beaten him like 2 or 3 times, and I've never actually popped off on him, which is strange.
No, it's fair enough, and you got to go with your gut with those sort of scenarios, right? Like,
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff. Tournaments in general now, we're just talking about as a general thing. They're capped at 32. So obviously it's a little bit different. Obviously we had some bigger tournaments before because you could. Now it's capped at 32. But you're getting, ninths and sevenths at like pretty much everything you're entering, which is good because it's like the quality of the players are quite high at everything that you're entering too. So it's not like I got ninth, but like I didn't verse anyone that was like good, the whole time.
Exactly. I feel like every time I enter a tournament and get ninth or something, I've earned it, which is something that I like. Although not the last, but the EBS before, I versed Nate, and I've beaten Nate a few times. Nate's beaten me a few times, but this time he wrecked me. Something has happened to Nate that he's leveled up and is nonsense, because there was nothing I could do. He was just everywhere that he needed to be, and I was like, why are you? I can't get in anywhere, and so he's the next person I need to beat. He's the next person I need to beat, because he's leveled up so much. But yeah, sorry. I feel like now if I get a good ranking, like 9th or even 13th, I'm like, I'm fine with that. But like, I'm like, I've earned this. I've earned this spot.
No, that's good. That's a good thing. Nate, if you're listening, you're a sweat. Stop sweating. I don't want to play you.
I've got to say, something. How do I say this? I really, really like this game, and I only play this game because I have fun with it. I don't grind 100 hours on a specific tech. I don't VOD analysis. Like I did it once or twice, and I'm like, this is cool, and I'm learning some things, but like, I don't have that drive to really like hone my skills. Like, I'm just playing because I'm having fun. And the moment I stop having fun with this game, I'm done. I'm not going to play anymore. Like, I really, really I just see people who put so much effort, and they deserve their spots that they're getting because they are putting so much effort. But I am just here for the lols. Like, I am having so much fun. I enjoy the crowds. I enjoy the people, and it's just playing for fun. Like, the fact that I do good is purely just enjoyment. There's nothing else behind it.
And that's awesome. Like, I mean, for me, like, you guys know, like, I do the analysis and stuff, but it's not,
And it shows, like, you deserve the improvements and the skills that you have.
yeah, but I'd like to, like, also point out, like, I do the work, but it's more so than anything else, it's a social thing. I don't
absolutely.
do.
We talked about this at China's birthday, actually.
Yeah, no, like, for me, like, I have so much fun hanging out with people and talking. Like, I like this game, I love it. I like talking about this game. And VOD analysis for me, especially in a group, is an excuse to talk to people about the game in detail.
Dude, that's so good. Yeah.
So that's like how so I can see what you mean, you know what I mean? Like, for you, it's like, you don't really get much out of it, so you don't do it. For me, it's like, I do it mostly because I enjoy talking about the game. But, you know, like,
Yeah.
otherwise, it's like, I don't really touch it, like, for my own stuff. And then every now and again, it's like, I'll be like, someone else want me to look at their VOD, I'll have a look at it, you know?
Yeah, fair.
And that's mostly because I love this game, but God, I'm not going to play this game online. So that's my workaround to this problem.
I got so close. I think it was the EBS where Nate beat me, which was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was like, I think I went 1-2, and Nate, I could see the improvement in Nate so much. I was like, you know what? I don't have the drive like Nate does to improve. I was on the verge of just quitting. I was like, I think I'm done with Smash. Like, I can see the people around me who are putting in the effort and they're improving. And I'm at the level where I need to put in effort to improve and like train essentially. I'm like, oh man, I was so close to throwing in the towel. But because I enjoy I enjoy tournaments and it's fun.
It's good that, like, you can address that, you know, because I think a lot of people don't draw the line when they need to necessarily, or not so much to quit, but some people don't know when to take the breaks when they need them either. Not just to stop, but like just take a step back, remove yourself from the game for a bit, and come back and remember why you play it. You know, we can look at the numbers, we can look at the wins, we can look at the results, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're not having fun with this game, you need to take a step back. You know,
exactly, absolutely.
So I think that's just like an important thing to point out, especially with tournaments. Hopefully, you know, coming back to normality soon. Don't burn yourselves out. The game's not going away. The scene's pretty lively. You know, don't feel like you'll fall behind by taking a break. It'll pay off in the long run if you need it. I was just going to check, Crozzy, was there another point you wanted to make, or was that the 2?
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. No.
Because I've got one more. I've got a couple questions left. If you haven't got to that.
Go for the question. I haven't got to that point yet.
Because the last thing I really want to talk about with you was, you know, the first monthly in the West for like 10 years, which was Super Sunshine Smash.
Dude, that was so good.
It's you know, Super Sunshine Smash is like, you know, basically a culmination of me getting sick of traveling to the east to play tournaments and like sort of helping Marcel make a dream sort of come true in that sense, where we could run a monthly, you know.
You guys, fuck man, that was by far the best monthly I've ever been to. It was so smooth, it was comfortable, it was spacious, food was at our fingertips. I used to work at that venue, so like I know, like, it was just perfect. I never thought of a more perfect venue than what the Deer Park Club was. Like, it was spectacular, and you and Marcel are amazing. You've smashed it.
And just like a big shout out to everyone that helped as well. You know, we might have done the logistics.
Nev was in there too. Fuck man, Nev is killing it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we got the logistics sorted, you know, I might have got the venue, whatever, Marcel's bringing the equipment, but like, reality is, without the community, we can't do it, you know? If we haven't got people doing pool captaining, if we don't have people, putting in scores, like that stuff. Everything makes the tournament run smooth, and I can't thank everyone enough. Like I'm sure I made it well known, but just to clarify, like it meant a lot to have, especially the first tournament you run so smoothly. Like I couldn't have asked for much more. So thank you very much, everyone. With the tournament itself, like you pretty much like answered sort of the things I wanted to talk about already. Like I think ideally, like you said, long term, if we could get like round robin, that'd be awesome. But we'll have to wait and see. As things move more towards COVID normal, and we can probably have more people in the venue, that's when we can sort of look towards doing that sort of thing. But for now, we'll keep it capped just because it's easier.
Yeah. Fair enough. Can I really quickly ask for a toilet break? I need like 30 seconds.
No, you go for it. I've got some things to point out anyway, so go for it.
All right, I'll be back in just a moment.
No worries. So, yeah, just speaking about that, obviously you guys know Super Sunshine Smash 2, we had to, postpone due to this snap lockdown, and that's why, it's bittersweet because I've been working on this podcast for a while, and I just couldn't get to finish it because I was actually attending tournaments and stuff, but in a sense, this gave me the freedom and the free time, not having to organize Super Sunshine, not having Monday on today, to spend that time to work on this podcast. So I've just tried to make the best out of a bad situation. I hope you guys enjoy this stuff as much as I do. I think it's value adding, and that's why I do it. But it is hard now with tournaments sort of coming back. For me to be as motivated to spend that time, I just don't have as much as I did before. To address that question, Tim, this won't be the last modcast, but it's definitely going to be something that's going to be more sporadic. I can't be like I was before, where I was pumping out the questionnaires every week and then just organizing a time. These are surprisingly time consuming to organize, I think is the misconception. It's tough because, I might spend 10-15 hours gathering question, like just doing the research, like writing down the questions, thinking of something interesting to talk about. It's tricky. And then you got to find people that are willing to do it, it's hard. So to give you that answer, hiatus. It's not over. It's just not going to be as frequent. He's back. Crozzy's back. And with that, Crozzy has 2 points he wanted to address.
Right. So, first point. I need a roommate. Oh my god, please, guys. I need a roommate so fucking bad. I am a really nice, loving, warm person. I am very clean. I have a gym. I have an outdoor sesh area. I have a good TV. I have, my house is great. Please, if you are looking for a house, I need you as a roommate. Like, holy shit. Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. Crozzy, if you've got like a link to anything that I can post, I'll post it in the chat as well.
Please, yes, absolutely. That will take me time to find, but
that's okay. I'll post it at the end then.
All right, no dramas. So the other thing is, Master of Disaster, you have been one of the biggest supports in the scene this year, and this year, you have done so much work to help the community. Like you've put in so much effort. I don't think it is an understatement to say that you helped give this community support. Like you have held it up through COVID and through recovering through COVID. I don't think anyone can deny your value in this community. And I'm sure Marcel, he can completely agree to that. Like you and Marcel together, Nev also being that little support there, you guys have destroyed this community. Like not destroyed, sorry, like you guys have done such a good such a good fucking job, and I can't thank you, and I think I speak on behalf of the entire community that thank you so much for the work that you've done. Like, good shit.
No, that means a lot, honestly. I love this game. I love this community. I'm not. I don't care. Like I've said this a few times in other like chats and stuff. You know, like honestly, like I could eventually become an O2er, and I would not care because this community is so good. I don't.
Dude, right?
I don't play this game to be the best in that sense. It's a similar thing, you know. This game's a balance thing, you know. I cannot. Yeah. I need to keep balance with my real life, my work obligations, my life. I've got got a mortgage to pay. There's lots of stuff going on outside, you know. But this community's done so much for me. It's given me a sense of belonging.
If that didn't just show your age, you have a mortgage.
God damn.
Question: which name do you prefer, Mozzie or Crod, as our shipped name?
Oh, they're both pretty terrible.
Fuck you! I think Mozzie is great. I think Mozzie.
I'll take Mozzie because it's very Australian, and I think that's fair.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crod is like sounds like something you'd find on like stagnant on a ship or something, you know, like
it's too close to crud.
Yeah, that's like the thing that comes to my head. It's like it's crud. Like I'm not about the crud.
Yeah. So Mozzie it is.
Mozzie's definitely the play there. So you guys ship that in the chat, but I probably will not be using that term ever again.
That's all right. It's a one-sided relationship. I get it.
Nah, thanks heaps, Crozzy. I appreciate that. Nah, it means a lot. With that, we've got time for some viewer questions because we stopped keeping track of the time with this podcast. So,
yeah, yeah,
it's okay. And honestly, I lost track of the time because I was having a ball.
No, I didn't realize it'd been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
But it's good. It's all been great. So I've got no complaints. If you've got questions, plug them in the chat right now. We'll pick out a few. I don't want to hold up too long. But I'm happy to answer things. I'll sort of pick through them. Gym equipment tier lists from Pat.
Gym equipment tier list. Oh man, pull-up bar and squat rack. Like if you can get them one in the same, that is number one. That is S tier. Like pull-up bar and squat rack conjoined, because you can do everything. You can do bench press, squats, pull-ups. What's that thing called? Overhead press. You can do like things with TheraBands. Like there is so much shit you can do with just that single piece of equipment. And that piece of equipment cost me $450. Super cheap considering if you buy it from like a actual like gym retailer, anywhere between $1,000 to $2,500. So like you can get some really good cheap shit. That is number one. And then after that, it really doesn't matter because everything kind of works off of that piece.
Yeah, which is fair enough. All right, I'm going to change this from a tier list question. You just pick the sexiest Oz Smasher, obviously 18 plus.
Sexiest Oz Smasher. Okay, so we're going to go Dan as number one. Dan is, I would call Dan S tier. I would put him, S tier. Dude, am I involved in this list? Because I would put myself, well, too bad I am now. I'm making the tier list. I would put me as A to A minus. In the Smash community, I don't think I am like a 10 out of 10. I actually think I'm a 7 out of 10. I would put Wootkins as, what is that? What's after? Yeah, I would put Wootkins as B to B plus, and oh, you know what? Danklin's kind of cute.
That goddamn
now
beard.
I'm just listing people who I think are cute, so let's just stop.
Yeah, we'll end that question before we end up in trouble.
Yeah. I'll just stop there.
All right, next question. Do you always cook brekkie in just the apron?
That was actually dinner. Thank you very much. I have cooked semi-naked quite a few times, and in actual fact, my neighbor his backyard looks into my kitchen, that after a while, after about 6 months, a year of me living here, he put up like an extra raising to his fence so he couldn't see me cooking naked anymore.
God damn. All right, we've got Slash. We're probably going to have 2 more questions. So Slash has got, how can he convince you to pick up Chic alongside Vinny and himself?
The thing is, it's really hard because I've put so much time into Falco that it's really hard to convince me to drop Falco. Like, just dropping Falco for anyone is really difficult. So yeah, I really don't think you can convince me unless you paid me, unless you became my roommate. Become my roommate. If you guys move in with me, I'll pick up Chic. Done. Easy solve.
There we go. All right. So that's quite an expensive undertaking, but it's possible. All right, Marcel's got a good question. What's your best 1-rep squat?
I haven't tested it in a while, but there's a video of me when I was sorry, dropped my headphone.
It's okay.
There's a video of me that I've got on Facebook because I'm old. Of me doing a 140 kilo squat. It's quite bad form. Like I've got a straight back and everything, but I don't go too deep. But it's 140 kilos, and I think now I'm at 120 for 6 reps. So I think I can like destroy that now. So see how that goes.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I've got another question from do I anti pop off after?
Yeah, that's a good question.
If you saw me versus Razy, it was last hit, last stock. He was about to re-grab the ledge, but he went for a beefy up B. Like, so he clipped me as Link with his up B, and he won the set. Like, he won the entire game, and I popped off so hard. But like, the difference between me happy pop off where I've won is like I'll jump really high and be like, oh, video is unavailable or unsupported. What happened here? Are we still here?
We are back, I think. It dropped out for a bit. My net's gone to shit, but it should be okay. Are we good, chat? Let us know.
Yeah, can you guys still hear us? Like, it's kind of just gone somewhere.
Like, my bitrate's like going up and down.
Oof, that's rough.
It's like, we got this far, now it wants to do this. Like, come on, man.
I know, right?
We will keep going along because it looks okay.
All good. Okay, cool. All right. So, yeah. So when I pop off for a win, I jump really high, and I'm like looking up. That's it. I'm looking up and I'm jumping up. When I lost against Razy, I will like jump, but I'll stamp my feet. I'll like anger stamp my feet and look down and like storm backwards and forth. But I'm happy, but I'm frustrated. I'm like, that was such a fun game. I enjoyed that so much. But like that is my anti pop off. Like, it's a pop off, but like there's the difference.
Yeah, I can feel that. I've got one last question. I'm taking this one from Tim, just keeping an eye on the time.
Yep.
Yeah, Tim's asked, have you ever done anything else competitively, be it like sports or games?
Well, I played basketball, but that's where we used to be the mascots of the group, because again, if you see me, whenever one of my teammates or I pop off, I pop off, like I'm just high energy screaming, and I cheer for the other team when they get a goal. I'm like, fuck yeah, that was well done. And so like we became the mascots of the league because we had never won a game. We always lost. But this year we're actually doing really well. We've only lost twice. And so like, I'm not sure if people are salty at me because I am still popping off and being like, well done. And they think it's condescending, but like, no, I'm just like impressed that you did a really cool thing. So like, well done. So that's like, I'm not that, I don't do that really competitively. That's me running and having fun. Anything else? Nah, not really. I don't really do competition because I'm too much of a like, let's do this for fun sort of thing. I don't really do competition.
No,
which is funny to say considering I compete in Smash Bros.
It happens, honestly. Like, it's sometimes you don't start competitive, if that makes sense. It's you start off because you just want to play the game, and then before you know it, yeah, you're going to every tournament you can.
Yeah, that's it. Can we just get like a cheers for my dad in chat, like Stew Dogs?
Let's
Hey
go.
Stewie, fucking my dad. He's I'd love to say he's been supporting me my entire Smash career, but like he just keeps saying, "When are you making money? Are you gonna make money yet?"
Mate, I always do that to like Dad. I just stir him. I'm just like,
yeah.
Dad, I won the tournament. Look how much I won, and it's just like, that's all right.
$20.
Yeah, I mean, oh, now they're not bad. When you get the nice, big, fat, juicy 32-man tournaments, they're not too bad.
Ooh.
But in general, it's let's put it this way: I'm not quitting my day job. All right, with that, we'll leave it to you, Crozzy. You got one final thing you want to address?
So I have one thing to say, and this is a big thing. I have gone through a lot of emotional stress over the last couple of weeks, and those who have followed what I've been doing, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't just see this in me, I see this in the community. Mental health is a really, really big deal. And you don't let it sleep on you. Like if you start to feel bad, if you start to feel upset or anxious or anything like that, speak out, talk. There are people in the community who you might not be comfortable
Sorry,
talking
Crozzy.
to about how you're feeling. It doesn't have to be about Smash. It can be anything in. What's up?
It just cut out for a second. You should be fine now. Sorry.
Okay. You should, yeah. If you're feeling upset, or if you're feeling depressed or anxious, it's something that's really, really. Don't sleep on it. Talk to someone. And when I was going through the horrible situation that I was going through, I didn't ask for it, but I had a couple of people reach out to me, and it was I never considered them like close friends or anything, but they still reached out, and that was amazing, and it made me feel better. I want to let people know that if you are feeling low, down, upset, anxious, pull me aside and I will talk, I will listen. If you want to cry, I've got two really big fucking shoulders. I don't sleep on anxiety and depression. It's a big thing, and just know that people are there to listen to you.
And no, Crozzy, like you're hitting pretty deep with that, and it's not
Yeah.
That's more because I can relate. It's really important to have the support network around you, and it can be hard, especially now. Times have been really tough. The world sort of feels like it's gone upside down, and it's back and forth. It's crazy, but
Yeah.
This community is very loving. There's a lot of people that you can talk to if you're comfortable. If it's not in this community itself, feel free to reach out. Like there's so many resources out there that you can use, and don't feel ashamed to use those resources.
Oh my god.
I'll speak for myself. There was a period during lockdown where I was going through a fair bit of anxiety with work, and it was something I didn't want to address early, and I realized if I don't do something about it, it's only going to get worse.
Yep.
And talking to a psychologist or reaching out to these support services did so much for me. Like I kind of like it's basically changed the entire way I look at how I deal with work at the moment. So it's really important. Take that opportunity. Those opportunities are there. If you're not comfortable with those kinds of resources with a psychologist, speak to a friend, speak to someone that you know, and just
Exactly. People are there. People are there. The community is nice, and we talk like shit and all that time, but people are there to help.
Yeah.
And I just want to let everyone know that being sad is being said. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, and we're all here together. We all enjoy the same thing. We all want to make sure that we're all together enjoying this thing ongoing, long term. So reach out, please.
Yeah, agreed.
And with that, bit of a somber
Sorry
note.
to end it on such a heavy note, but like it needs to be said.
No,
So,
I'm so glad that you've brought this up, because it's like I said, a lot of this stuff. I planned this, but I didn't plan this. If that makes sense. And I'm so glad you brought it up, because now is a time more than ever where it's so important that we keep addressing this and we make this normal. It's okay to talk about if you're having good and bad days. Don't bottle it up. Share it with people that you trust and you're comfortable with, because it's not worth holding to yourself.
On that, Mod, thank you so much for having me on. This has been the best fucking fun I've ever had. Like, this was so much fucking fun.
Nah, Crozzy, look, I knew as soon as we said that you're going to be on the show, and like, one, you're going to pop off, and two, you're going to be a fantastic guest to have. So it's turned out so good. I'm really happy that you've joined me today. Do you have any shout outs, plugs, things like that? If you've got that link, give us the link. I'll plug it down the bottom.
Oh man, I need to get that. Pretty much my only shout out is to the people who helped me through this rough as fuck time. So appreciate to them, and and to you, Mod. I've said my things, man. You've killed it. You guys are the shout outs that I want to have.
Nah, that's really appreciated, Crozzy. It means a lot, and I hope you guys.
That's my. Sorry.
1 second. Send it to me in the Discord, and I'll post it.
Okay. Yeah. Got you. Yeah.
I just banned links because we're getting all the dodgy people.
Fair enough.
Telling me to get followers, and I'm like, I don't want to give you followers. All right.
My shout outs are: click that link, please become my roommate. There is no age limit anymore. I just need a roommate. Mod, you're an amazing person. Marcel and Nev, you guys are killing it too. And thank you to the community. Like, you guys are great. Like, you know, every now and again I'm like, God, you guys are salty and toxic, but for the most part I'm like, nah, this is great. I consider everyone like a friend. So
that's awesome, Crozzy. Thanks so much, everyone listening. Thank you very much for tuning in to Know Your Locals. Who will be the next guest? That's to be determined, and based on a lot of factors that may or may not be, relevant.
10 months down the track.
We don't know. I'm really keen to keep still doing this Know Your Locals with people from Vic. I think it's important that we keep documenting. It's like basically a way to document our history. I think it's really important, and I want to keep doing that long term. So this is not an idea that I'm going to drop completely. It's just going to be something that's going to come when the inspiration's there, when the time comes up, and I'm just going to be hassling people in DMs asking them to join it. So
yeah, good. I like it. Big fan of that, because this is something I really enjoy listening to. So Mod, good job.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys, and until next time.
Bye all.